Hi, I'm Linda Williamson from the Scriber Public Library, and today we are doing a Community Connections with Ethan Spadoni.
Hello.
Hi, Ethan.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Ethan, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So my name is Ethan Spadoni, as you know. I was born in 1997, and I've lived in Scriber all my life. But I went to school at Lakehead University for a few years. And oddly enough, I didn't actually study writing there. I studied history and philosophy. And so those were really fun to study. And I was thinking of getting into teaching. I thought that might be an interesting career, but I later realized that teaching is actually a very hard field to get into. So I've been looking for other avenues. And I've been hoping that writing can help me kind of get my work out there.
Awesome. So I know that your family is a large family.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give us a little bit of history about Spadoni's in Scriber?
Well, I don't actually know a lot. I can't actually remember a lot about our history, but I will tell you what I can.
Sure.
So from what I know is that the Spadoni side is that they came across from Italy. And so then they founded the Spadoni Motors. And then that car dealership just got built up. And then on my mom's side, the Langell side, they actually came over from Hungary.
Oh.
Yeah, that's actually where my great-grandfather is from. He came over from Hungary, and then they were in Ottawa or Sault Ste. Marie, I believe. And then it was for the nickel mines. And then they found their way here for CP Rail.
So tell us what your latest hobby is.
Okay, so my latest hobby is I've been getting into writing. And I actually have a few of the books that I wrote.
Awesome.
Here, so it's actually, I have 4 of them so far. So here's the first one. And then I've got the second one. And then the third one. And then the fourth one.
So can you tell us what your books are about?
Sure. So my books are about, well, the first one mainly is about Scriber. It's about 5 friends that are battling against an evil scientist.
Okay.
And they're basically, they have to deal with like a lot of post-apocalyptic stuff. And so basically it's about the 5 friends just growing together as they fight against the scientist. And then it just shows the trials that they face. And the rest of the books are separate stories that actually connect with those 5 friends later on in the franchise.
Oh, okay. So are your friends based on real friends that you've had throughout your life?
Some of them are based off of like friends that I've had, but a lot of them, like especially in my later years,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of them are also just based off different parts of me. Actually, like for some of the characters, I put a bit of me in each one.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a mixture of both.
Do you have any other plans on writing?
So I'm actually working on books 5 and 6 for the series, but then once that's done, there's 2 more books I'd like to write. One is about video games and mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be a really interesting story to tell. And then another one is about my great-grandfather.
Oh.
Yeah.
That'll be very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a lot of research you're going to have to do about his history, or are you going to rely on his children to tell you as much as they know?
So I actually have my cousin Katie. She actually lived with my great-grandfather for a while. And so she's going to visit my other cousin, Glenn, who actually has an audio recording of my great-grandfather talking about his life.
Oh, that's perfect.
So she's going to reach out to him, and then hopefully she'll pass that info on to me. And then it's meant to be historical fiction, so I'm going to be compiling that research along with kind of my own musings. And it's meant to be like journal entries about his life. One of the main reasons I wanted to write about him was because he fought in World War I for a Hungary side. And shortly after the war started, he was actually captured in a POW camp.
Oh, wow.
In Russia. And so he spent a short amount of time there, and then he and his friend managed to break out. And then it took him, I believe it was 3 years to get back home.
My goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Like what an adventure, unfortunately, during wartime.
Mm-hmm.
But so all of that will be included in your book then.
Yes.
Nice. And you have the recording of your grandfather speaking and talk. Is it in English or is it in Hungarian?
I believe in English.
Okay.
I don't have it yet. I'm still waiting to hear back from my cousin.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
Yeah, it will be. I'm excited for that.
What was your inspiration to start writing?
Okay, so I would say my inspiration was our town. Because I grew up in Scriber,
Mhm.
so I always loved going to like places like Costa's and the Voy, and they're actually prominent places I feature in the book. And so I just loved our town, and so I wanted to write about that. But also, I've been a huge fan of like stuff like zombie movies and alien movies. So I want to really have a dystopian feel,
Uh-huh.
and so that's what led me to writing the first book. And so, because it was just about these five small town friends, and then as they kind of grow older, they have to go through different trials, and then the scientist keeps coming back, and so then basically the five of them just growing up and kind of learning about themselves along with each other, and just how like how there's frictions, and so the book's about just them trying to deal with those frictions together.
So after you finished your first book and
Mhm.
you were really pumped about it and you felt that it was perfect, how did you move on to the second book?
So
Did you always have an idea of creating like a series, or was it just you were just going to write one book?
Well, actually, it's really interesting that you asked it that way because initially the first book was actually supposed to be a series of five. Because I had written a bunch of short stories. Like anyone who reads the first book, like the first story is about zombies, then the next one's about aliens. That was actually the sequel.
Okay.
Yeah, it was supposed to be five parts, and but I realized that they were too short, like to be individual books.
Okay.
So I thought, then why not just combine them all into one book?
Oh,
And when I was studying at Lakehead, I learned a lot about the Stanford Prison Experiment. Do you know that study?
I'm not too sure. You'll have to explain it to me.
Oh, no problem. So it's a study that was done after World War II, I believe, at Stanford University.
Hmm.
The idea is that they want to study obedience, like for Nazi soldiers in World War II. So what they did was they hired a bunch of Stanford students and they split them up into two groups, prisoners and guards. And the idea is that they would become these roles.
Uh-huh.
And so when the people who were chosen to be prisoners, they were actually arrested. Like once they were approved for the study, they were actually arrested and brought in for booking. But instead of going to the police station, they were sent to a warehouse where they were not forced, but they were meant to participate in the study.
Right.
And then slowly, the guards slowly became more and more used to their roles. They became very developed. They began to develop sadistic tendencies, and the prisoners began to feel very fearful of the guards. And the study was shut down after 6 days, after two prisoners had mental breakdowns.
Oh my goodness! It only took 6 days for all of that to happen.
Exactly, yeah.
Wow.
And so the second book, Broken Paths, is actually about kind of a modern day take on the Stanford Prison Experiment at Lakehead. And the idea is that the main protagonist, Darwin, he signs up because it's got all these safeguards in place. It's meant to be like, very nice and very happy. And it's just meant to be a really good experience.
Right.
And so then he ends up going into it and it's anything but that. And he starts to realize that someone is actually trying to intentionally mess with him. Like someone who doesn't like him is creating this whole study just to mess with him.
Oh no.
Yeah, and so like by the time you get partway through the book, like not the end of the book, but
Right.
partway through,
Yeah.
Darwin starts to question if what he experienced was even real or not.
Okay.
Because like there's a lot of signs throughout it that you don't know if he actually experienced it genuinely or not.
Right.
And so I wrote that at Lakehead. That was meant to that actually wasn't meant to be book 2. That was supposed to be a different project.
Okay.
But then last year when I was talking with my buddy Travis, I was talking about my writing because I had a bunch of short stories,
Uh-huh.
and he gave me the idea to start writing again. So then I created the first book, and then I started creating Broken Paths right after that.
Oh, nice.
And then that led into Shattered Reflections, which is the third book,
Mm-hmm.
which actually, that one is 2 novellas in one.
Okay.
And so that one was a completely original idea that I came up with last year.
Uh-huh.
So it's the first one's about a medieval fantasy story. Um, just about this person who's first of all he's in modern day, but then he gets teleported to medieval fantasy
Mhm.
and he doesn't know how he got there. And then the story evolves with him teleporting back and forth and kind of feeling more at ease with the medieval world.
Mhm.
And so then he has to deal with a bunch of threats. Like there's a threat of a dragon and neighboring kingdoms that
Okay.
are declaring war.
Uh-huh.
And so he has to deal with all these threats while trying to protect his newfound family in the fantasy world. Now, the second novella is a sci-fi one. It's very different scope, but it's about these six families that are at war with each other, and basically they have a meeting every year. And so they come across they talk about these issues and anything that comes up. It's their way of trying to keep the peace. Like war is not officially going on, but they're all working behind the scenes to do it.
Yeah.
And so then the story basically goes is that it's from the perspective of each family as they go through their trials and tribulations and
Mhm.
like their day-to-day lives. And it just shows each side and how they all have their own ambitions.
Right.
And each family is secretly vying for the center of the universe, which is essentially there's a hidden treasure there.
Uh-huh.
And so each family is secretly coveting that while they're each trying to openly follow the rules while behind the scenes they're trying to undermine each other.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that led to the fourth book, which was kind of, I'd say I've been wanting to write it for a while,
Mm-hmm.
but it was mostly last year. That one is essentially all the characters from each book coming together to fight off the mad scientist one last time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So everybody meets in Scriber.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and like at the end of each with each book, it'll show there's there's a hint of something coming.
Oh, okay.
And so they're all meeting in Scriber, and so then they realize, oh no, there's something here, we have to stop it.
It sounds very interesting. Definitely, I have to read them one of these days.
Thank you.
So, how many years do you think you've been writing?
I've been writing, I started writing before grade 8.
Okay.
So probably when I was about 12. That's when I started writing the first story. And that was just a short story I was writing. It wasn't meant to be a book.
Right.
It was just something I was doing for fun that I loved.
Yeah.
But then I took a lot of breaks because I kept dealing with writer's block. And that was never fun.
No.
And because initially with the first book, as I said, it was going to be 5 parts, I was stuck on part 4 for years and I never knew how to break through.
Yeah.
Until I was talking with my buddy Travis and I thought, you know what, I just want to try it again.
Yeah.
And I actually pushed through it.
That's perfect. Where do you get your ideas from and how have they developed into books?
So I would say a big thing I used to watch when I was probably too young, if I'm being honest, was The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And I used to watch my dad play a zombie game called Left 4 Dead. It basically same idea, zombie apocalypse. You play as 4 survivors trying to get from safe house to safe house, trying to get to safety.
Right.
And so I used to watch my dad play that all the time. And there's a part in the second game where the group is trying to get to a safe house. And they have to talk to this guy who's like boarded up and he's got like a full security system.
Uh-huh.
And he's all like, hey, so I'll give you a hand, but when I boarded myself up, I actually forgot Coca-Cola. So I need you to go get me some Coca-Cola and then I'll help you out. And so there's actually a scene in the first book where I reference that.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, one of them says like, oh yeah, let's get some Coke. I'd say just a lot of media I've seen really evolved my writing.
Right.
But then, especially in later years, I really got into like animated stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say a lot of different animes and stuff heavily influenced my writing in the last few years.
So it's just a variety of different things that pique your interest,
Exactly.
and you just write it down and put it in your books.
Exactly.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 or 10 years?
That's a good question. If I'm being honest, I've been trying to figure that out for myself. Because After I graduated from Lakehead, I got a master's degree in history, and so I thought that would lead me into teaching,
Right.
as I said. But then I realized that might not be my main path. So I've just been trying to figure that out. It's been a struggle, if I'm being completely honest. But I'm hoping that my writing will kind of open up opportunities for me.
Perfect. Yeah. You never know what can
Mhm.
come of it.
Exactly.
What about your support system?
So that would be my parents and my brother. After I was done at Lakehead, I have no problem admitting this. I did run into some hard times, and so they helped me with that, and they're currently helping me to get back on my feet.
That's great.
And so while I was there, I wanted to like I'd say at first my writing, like my relationship with my parents wasn't the way it is now. Like it's very positive now. Because we've talked things out. It's very very positive, very like genuine.
Hmm.
But I would say during my university years there was a lot more tension, and that was heavily influenced in my writing.
Okay.
And so I wrote a lot about, like, anyone who reads the book will see that I put some of my, like, darkest feelings into it. Like, it's all an exaggeration, but the raw feelings are there.
Do you feel by writing about your feelings that it makes it not disappear, but makes it easier on you?
It does. Yeah, I'd say it helps because writing's always been a really good outlet for me.
Yes.
And so it helps me to kind of put it on paper. And then if there is something I need to talk about with someone, it kind of helps me to think, like, okay, what exactly do I want to say?
Right.
And so then I can take the emotion out of it and be like, okay, these are the main points I want to get across.
Right. And that's great because at least you have the ability to put it on paper and then be able to communicate with somebody that you would like help with something or you just need that support.
Exactly.
Do you feel that there's an advantage to living in a small town? Or is it more of a disadvantage when it comes to writing and
I'd say it's both, like, depending on how you look at it. Like, I'd say there are some advantages because I'm away from, like, the city noise. It's a very close-knit community, so I know most of the people here.
mm,
Of course, there are a lot of people that I don't know because we're always getting new people moving in, which is good.
yes.
So that just means more people for me to meet.
Yes.
So I'd say it's there that the advantage is there. It kind of gives me some quiet, but I also do admit I feel a bit cut off, from people in the city and stuff. Like when I was at school, I made a lot of friends who live like in big cities or they live in other countries, and so I feel cut off from them. But I'd say overall, I'm very happy to live in a small town. I think it's given me more advantages than disadvantages. But just like anything, there are positives and drawbacks.
Definitely. Do you have any plans for any book signing or readings?
Nothing concrete, but I would love to do any sort of event like that. Especially if I could do it, if I could even do it at the library, that would be awesome.
I think that would be great if we can plan something during Heritage Days
Mm-hmm.
and get people to come in and even if you have some books available for purchase,
Yeah,
if you wanted to do it that way.
sure, that sounds great.
The more exposure, the better.
Exactly.
Is there anything else that you would like to talk about?
There is one other thing. In I believe it's the end of June, I'm going to be participating in a Canadian event called Fiction Fest. It's basically it's like an indie version of Comic-Con.
Okay,
So basically, it's a bunch of Canadian authors coming together and they showcase their books.
nice.
Yeah, and so
Is that going to be online or?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah, it's going to be online.
awesome.
And I'm excited for. I actually signed up to do a book reading and a panel for that. So I'm excited for that to come.
That's exciting, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So can you tell us where people are able to purchase your book from?
You can purchase them through Amazon Canada, I believe. So you can either get them in paperback or ebook format. And so, and one thing I really wanted to include in my writing was because, if I'm being completely honest, I myself suffer from mental illness. anxiety and depression is not fun for anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I really wanted with my books was to be able to connect with others who suffer from those same things. And so just to kind of show them that, like it's okay. Like that, not that it's okay to suffer from it because it's hard, but I mean, it's okay. Like it's nothing to be ashamed of.
Exactly.
And I myself was like kind of like pushed into specific directions, like for treatment wise. And some helped, some didn't. So one thing I would like to also articulate is that, however you go about it is fine. Like
Exactly.
one treatment isn't a fit all for everyone.
That's so true.
Like for some people, they're on medication. Others, it's therapy. Other times, it's other things.
Exactly. Yeah.
And whatever works for you, I think is great.
I agree completely.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much, Ethan, for coming in and having a chat with us and showing us your books. And we can't wait to see what's in the future for you.
Thank you. It was an honor to be here.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us.